when you're not able to develop your emotional self, you're not able to develop the part of your internal self that makes you strong and resilient and flexible and know what right action is. You don't have an inner place of knowing and intuition. You don't have a gut response. It's almost as if they go through this experience of self-annihilation by denying their emotional field and emotional knowledge. It's a self-annihilation ritual that they go through over and over and over again of denying themselves. So what comes out of a person that has done that countless times is the annihilation of others. It disassociates them from an internal knowing, which has an accountability. It knows, oh gee, I know how things hurt, I know how things feel, so I don't want to do that to another. It removes that. So now annihilating something else or someone else becomes very easy for a person like that, because they're already practicing the ritual of self-annihilation. And a person who's been removed from knowing themselves internally will only have the options in front of them of knowing themselves through accomplishment, performance, getting titles, winning competitions, whatever trials in front of them. They will externally focus on being the best at that, because inside of themselves they know that they're lacking the ability to really internally develop themselves, so they will just develop everything externally. And once you're in a situation like that, where your entire world around you is externally developed, you generally develop narcissism, because you don't have the ability to feel for yourself. Therefore, you don't have the ability to feel for others. And you can fall victim to self-grandiosity, because your ego has told you how great you are, how much you can annihilate others. And so you step into that embodiment that becomes your new identity, and everyone around you marvels and applauds it. What could be wrong with that, right? If everybody else around you thinks that that's okay, what's the problem? The truth is that it doesn't meet their needs. It's not meeting their needs, and they are still suffering. There is something inside of them that is still reaching out and hurting and trying, but they don't know how to fix it. I remember one day, one of my super billionaires came to me and he said, Dawn, if I were to say I had a really bad day, nobody would have compassion for me. They would all just say, oh, you have more money than you know what to do with. Why should you have any problems? And I feel that he brought this up to me because he felt safe to come to me and unburden himself emotionally and psychologically. But being that he was a child genius who went to work at the age of 14 and never stopped and became one of the world's most powerful and successful people, he is not able to go to those around him and admit the difficulties he's suffering from, because everyone around him is looking up to him and trying to become him. And so a lot of men that are caught in this performance track, they don't know how to express the things that they're really suffering from and feeling. A lot of times they don't know why they suffer. In this case, the minute that this child's parents saw how intelligent he was put on a genius track. And I worked with many people who were geniuses, and they were all developed in the same ways. They were robbed of the ability to develop themselves as children. They were really robbed of a childhood completely. They weren't given the opportunity to just be and play and grow and develop naturally in their own time. They were put through rigors of accomplishment, performance, and proving themselves through testing. They're not in touch with the part of themselves that understands that it's okay to hurt, and that what you do with that feeling, how you process it, how you understand what those feelings are telling you, how you can begin to communicate with yourself internally, and how you're able to use that communication to develop a life that feels much more natural and authentic to you, so that you'll be living in harmony and inner peace, rather than just devouring everything in the world and hoping that it all makes sense eventually.